Yeah, great guttural roar from the yellow wall and the rest of the Dortmund supporters after that result this evening. It's Labour Day in Germany, public holiday, and nobody worked harder, I tell you, than those Dortmund players this evening, as Dave said there, to eke out that win. They played brilliantly at times. They had to work hard. They rode their luck, as Damien said before the game, that they might have to do at the back on a couple of occasions. But they have the lead. They did what Bayern couldn't do in their first leg last night. They have the lead going into the second leg. Gary Breen, is it a deserved lead for Dortmund based on tonight?
I think it is in terms of the performances, individual performance, and as a collective. But it's still in keeping with what Damo was saying before the game, that at times they do ride their luck, and PSG hit the post on a couple of occasions. Having said that, Dortmund may well feel that they've left behind a crucial second goal and a two-goal lead, because that's some big chances that they didn't take, but it's finally poised now. It was a brilliant first leg.
It's a definition, isn't it, of a tie that you know, as Gary says, finally poised, because PSG will look at the chances they had, Dortmund will look at the chances they had, and the sort of cheery exchange between Terzic and Luis Enrique at the end there. It's sort of like, see you back in Paris next week, because this is wide open, isn't it?
It was a super game, absorbing, enthralling, tactical battles, individual performances, really good stuff. Like, just looking at this Dortmund team, you know, what I said before the show, it's hard to put your finger on what they are. What are they good at? Like, every team at this level, they're particularly good at something. I'm not saying they're a bad team. They're obviously very good. They work incredibly hard for each other. They ride their luck. The goalkeeper makes incredible saves. They almost lull you into a sense of no, we'll beat these back at Parc des Princes.
And what about their man of the match, according to Jerry in commentary? A Manchester United player who hasn't played a hell of a lot for Manchester United, and certainly did not put in a performance like that for Manchester United over the almost 3 years he was there. Jadon Sancho.
He was right up there in terms of Dortmund's best players. They all had great games. You know, you look at Mats Hummels at the back, interceptions, last-ditch blocks, getting in the way of things. The two wingers, Adeyemi was superb, both sides of the ball, getting forward and getting back. Sancho has that touch of class. He's probably the classiest player on a Dortmund team in terms of control, pass, linking the play. It's what persuaded Manchester United to part with £75 million for him. For whatever reason, they just couldn't get that form out of him. But again, like I said at halftime, he's not the first player to go to Manchester United and crash and burn and then go off and find form somewhere else. So at some point, you do have to look at the club he went to, but he's obviously a very good player.
We'll come back to him in due course. Just take us inside the PSG dressing room then, Gary. And will this be a PSG dressing room backbiting and nipping at each other, as has been the case in the past? Or will they be fairly confident that they'll get the job done in Paris next week?
I think Enrique probably controls that dressing room more than any manager has, and I think they'll have belief in the process, because even at times in that game, I didn't feel like they were chaotically looking for that equaliser. They kept to the game plan, they kept probing, and they did create chances, but for the thickness of a coat of paint on the post, they would have got their 2 goals. So I think they'll believe 90 minutes at home, they'll back themselves to overcome this 1-0 deficit.
But isn't that the beauty of this Dortmund team? Like Paris, like you said, weren't chasing the equaliser because they felt, you know what, we'll get this lot back at Parc des Princes.
Yeah.
Now, Dortmund didn't beat them in either of the group games. You know, Paris got a draw and a win. This is the first time they've beat Paris Saint-Germain. Now they get to go back to Paris with something to hang on to. And I would fancy them to score in Paris as well, because they have good players. The likes of Julian Brandt, what a superb player he is. And they do ride their luck, but they're a dangerous team, and like I said, lulling Paris into that false sense of security, it'd be a big ask now for Paris, but on paper they should get it done. Yeah,
they might ride that all the way to Wembley in the final if they produce another performance like they did this evening, but a long way to go in this tie. Brilliant venue, brilliant noise, brilliant support, brilliant match we've had to watch as well.